I noticed there on one of Christina's videos, she said that Lawrence was on the job without a clearance letter. Bad news. Subcontractor or not, you got to have a clearance letter. But on any job site has to have WCB on it. But it gives them an avenue which to screw you, and that company was screwing him. He should have been covered, irregardless. And if they say, well, you have to pay your own WCB, you don't come onto the job until you have a WCB number. And you get paid extra because you're providing your own WCB. But if they weren't doing that, were they? No, of course they weren't. They were nice guys. They weren't nice guys. They're never nice guys. You think they were nice guys? They were so relieved to get rid of you after you got hurt, you wouldn't believe. But anyways, these companies are getting smarter all the time. They have 4 or 5 different companies, numbered companies, where companies were under different names and that. One company owns the office, the other company owns the tools, and the other company runs the jobs. That way, one company gets into trouble, the other trouble, the other ones don't. They don't lose their tools or they don't lose their office buildings. And what happens is you got one company that owns the office. Well, they rent it to the company, the first company, and it's a deduction, and it's a big rounded deductions in the same company. Now I don't know why the government doesn't stomp on these people and stop this. I remember working for one company in here in town. I'd get paid every 2 weeks to be from a different company. Wouldn't was never from the same company. I won't mention their name because they've never actually done anything to me, so I could give a shit. But I mean, after a while, hey, Mr. Government, you want to screw somebody? Go screw them. They're bigger. They got more money and they can afford it. Quit picking on the injured worker. But you got deals like that. One company owns the tools, so they lease the tools to the other company, and then there's a big tax write-off of the tools they they should only be able to write off once, and they're writing them off 2 or 3 times. I mean, you think this is new? This is all old school, you know. But they want to fuck everybody. They don't care. We'll fuck the workers. We'll fuck the government. We'll fuck the public. We'll just keep fucking. Well, maybe it's about time somebody said, "Hey, we think your libido is a little overactive. Maybe it's about time we rein you in a bit." And this bullshit of not because obviously they weren't paying Lauren's Canada pension. And if Lauren was, he was footing the whole bill. So he wasn't making as much money as he figured he was because the company has to pay half of the Canada pension. It doesn't all come from the employee. Half of it comes from the deal. Now, Lauren was a subcontractor. He should have been getting paid extra for that too. In other words, the money is going up, 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 up. But that's 97% of the people out there don't operate that way. That friend of mine, the guy I know, Serba, I don't know if I'd call him a friend or not, but he's an acquaintance. And he's a good tradesman. I'd never ever say anything about him not being a good tradesman. He's a top tradesman. But he could figure out to the dollar exactly what you should be charging in order to be getting the compensation and your Canada benefit CPP included in your cost. But he's pretty quick on the ball. He's nobody's fucking fool. But 95% of the drywall people out there aren't that smart, so they're being screwed by these companies. And these companies know it. They laugh all the way to the fucking bank. Fucking dumb bastards wearing themselves out for. The guy goes, "Oh, I'm a good guy. They love me." Yeah, like fuck they do. They don't love anybody. They love themselves and money. That's what they love. They don't love anything else. That's why I get a kick out of these guys. My boss is a nice guy. Well, I fell for that shit too. Only once, though. Out of all my years in the drive, even the guy who trained me, and he was the best boss I ever had. He actually he was he bitched and whined about how much money we were making and that. And every time we went out of town, he was always trying to get us to eat toast. Uh, but you know something? I got to admit, old Dick West, he never ever screwed his fucking workers. But don't ever go in business with him because he was hell on his partners. They didn't survive. But Dick West, he was a good boss. Never ever fucked. I always got my money, and I never had a problem with him. And if I was sick or hurt or something, I was always taken care of. But that was a long time ago, and it was down in the Okanagan. It wasn't down here at the coast. Because these people are a lot more cutthroat. They don't give a shit about nobody. My family worked for old Dick West, Frank Brown Acoustics for about 30 years. Even my dad worked for him at one time. And I mean, we'd work 14 hours a fucking day and run all day for that old bugger. And he always claimed that his apprentices, he told me, he says, most people want 100% out of their apprentices. I want 110, and I get it too. And I never forget some old bastard on the job one time threatening to kick my ass because I was giving him a hard time. I deserved it. But it was funny, old Dick went over and I thought he was going to kill this guy. I had to stop Dick. Dick says, you ever touch my apprentice? He says, I'll kill you. He says, there's only one guy on this job site who kicks that apprentice's ass, and that's me. His ass belongs to me. And I was laughing like hell. And I apologized to the guy later on, and I actually had supper with him in the restaurant. That was up at Fernie, BC, up in Sparwood, out of Fernie, BC. Long, many years ago. But yeah, but those were the days. And I was proud of being a drywall lather, man. But I seen the way it went and the cutthroat bullshit. Now they're bringing in foreign workers. Half of them can't even talk English. You steal your tools while you're wearing them. And, you know, it's just bullshit. Cutthroat, and that's exactly what they wanted because they destroyed the local workforce. The cost will go down, and profits go up. That's what it is. Hey, if you can cut your labor in half, your profits are going to increase tenfold, and that's what it's all about. And that's the same, you know, wherever you cut, like, okay, if you cut your WCB payments or your Canada pension payments or your labor costs, the businessman is making a killing and screwing everybody 6 ways to Sunday. The guy who's building the building, he's not getting it any cheaper. He's not going to get it any cheaper because these guys are fucking everybody that comes along. No, he's still getting it. But it's a sad fact that people that subcontract off these assholes, they normally get screwed. There's a few good guys out there that don't get screwed, but they work all the time, and they don't say nothing to anybody either. They don't even talk to the other guys on the job. And they do tons and tons of work. They're doing all the gravy work in town, and that's what it is. And they ruin it for everybody else. There's nothing for anybody else. As far as I'm concerned, every tradesman in this fucking province should just pack up his tools and fuck off and go somewhere else and leave these bastards, because that's what they need. When they can't get a tradesman, then they're going to start sucking, because that's what they do. The minute they have to suck hole. But now the fucking government has opened up the fucking borders, and we got more Spanish in this country than we've ever had before. And those people, hey, they work for $50 a week. And I got nothing against Spanish people. They're good people. But why the fuck should these assholes be allowed to take advantage of them because they're hungry? And I don't give a shit. If that guy's Spanish working next to me, he should get the same money as I get. No, not a penny difference. Nothing. Exactly the same. But that's why they're being brought here, so that they could take advantage of them. And now I talked to a superintendent of a big job site, and apparently it's slowing down. The housing market has gone for a shit. Well, you're going to see a change. And all of a sudden things are going to get a little bit desperate. And then you're going to have to deal with these foreigners because they're going to be working for nothing, trying to get enough money to get home. And the local